up next, we're going to have a conversation about growing sacred medicine, and we're really fortunate to have Kelly Dunn and Josh Sarvis with us this afternoon with Dragonfly Earth Medicine. So please come on up and tell us more about growing sacred medicine.
Hello, everyone. Oh, whoa, we found some volume. I'm Josh, and this is Kelly, and we're from Dragonfly Earth Medicine. We are very blessed to be here with you all today. We love and appreciate you, and we wanted to open it up with just a prayer to the plant and to the earth really quick.
Just wanted to take a second to give thanks to this plant who has given us a higher consciousness, give thanks to this community who is leading the way in conscious efforts, energy, solutions, practices. Give thanks for this community for raising the bar on regenerative agriculture. Give thanks to the plant for guiding us all. Thank you.
So we're going to talk about just sacred growing and what sacred growing means to us and why it's important to us all and how it can affect us as we move forward in this new paradigm of legalization and corporatization. So sacred growing is, we feel like we're at a time and place right now when there's a lot of sickness in the world and there's a lot of sickness in our soils. And since the Industrial Revolution, we have lost topsoil, and there's a lot of reasons where our environment has been taxed. And we've heard some amazing stories from farmers today, so we'd like to give a lot of love to all those farmers that we've heard from. And they've given us incredible examples of, how they've regenerated their land. And what regenerative farming means to us is sacred, because you can't sustain a broken system. And right now we live in a place that's, harsh and it's hard, and we really need to come together to empower each other to create a sacred land that not only empowers ourselves, but empowers our systems, empowers our nature. So we need to regenerate life on Earth. And regenerating life on Earth is not just in soils, but it's within our hearts and within our health and vitality and our connections with people. So we kind of started as, family members, and we've built this amazing community, and we would just feel really blessed to share with you.
So like Josh said, we're living in a sick time. We are a sick species, unfortunately, because of the choices that we have made to get us to this point. I'm sure that everybody here in this room has a friend or a family member who's either dying of cancer, diabetes, heart illness, or people that are having severe depression. All of these ailments, all of these maladies are coming from lack of biodiversity and lack of beneficial microorganisms, both in our soil and in our own body. We are losing 90% of different species on this planet. That also means that we're losing 90% of the microbiology that helps us to stay healthy. So if we're up here and we're talking about cultivating sacred medicine, the only way to cultivate sacred medicine is by cultivating good soil. And the good soil then gives us the microbiology to enter our bodies and help us make better decisions. Somebody just said to me last week that we are not individuals. How can we be individuals when we have billions of thinking life forms inside of us that are making the decisions for us every day? It's up to us as small farmers to lead the way, to become these areas of health and well-being, that when you dig into your soil, it has everything that we need within our gut biome. We take a lot of time and energy. We do probiotics, we do prebiotics. It's awesome. You can re-inoculate. Every 72 hours, you have to re-inoculate because it only goes into the upper digestive tract. Soil microbiology, if given the proper inoculation, can last an entire lifetime. So when we look in the gut biome of people that have all of these maladies and that are dying, and people that are having a hard time with both mental and physical ailments, we find that this microbiology is devoid. So it's up to us, if we want to create sacred medicine, we've got to create more microbiology so that we have a better relationship with the plant.
And how do you do, and that's the positive twist on everything, is by having that positive microbiology. We've been tasting the soils at different farms that we've gone to on this love tour, and just really been, seeing what it feels like to go inside of our body, and then, taking a look up at the sky and the stars and seeing how the patterns of birds and everything fly through. And so we're working on building habitat so that we can continue to see our environment as part of that sacred well-being that we're all living in. And so the sacred well-being, comes from out of the soil and comes through the trees and creates environments. And it's a really extreme environment right now. So planting trees and creating zones around your gardens is extremely useful to keep that sacred growing and that connection. And every biosphere and bioregion has extremely nutrient-dense plants that live next to you. So looking at nutrient-dense indigenous species to build your farm with perennials and things that come back every year, and looking to native cultures and seeing what they've grown and what they've foraged and why they foraged, and bring some of that back into our life. Working with water plants, working with trees, working with brush, and using and building soil. And nature is our guide, and nature is always building soil. So if we can just continue to mulch and be layer farmers, again, we've seen a lot of amazing farmers of doing amazing things, and the sacred entities of layer farming and it giving vitality to the plants is everything. So we are building also a mycelial network through the mindscape, and that's how we're connecting farms, how we can change the paradigm and moving forward. So in having small farms change the world, and right now it feels like in California we're just in one area, and in Oregon we're in one area, but we're in Canada in an area where it's international. So we're really, wanting to use everyone's experiences to build our ability to work with nature better and provide medicine.
And in cultivating a sacred plant, the most important thing is that we get the sacred plant out to the people. Right now, I'm looking at a room full of medicine makers. I'm looking at a room full of radical people. I'm looking at a room full of people that want answers to questions that big ag, big pharma, big education is not giving us. And the only way that we can move this sacred plant forward is if we join together to become a really large entity, like Josh was saying, cooperatives. Join together. We all have learned a lot in these past many years, whether we were a part of the black market or whether we're just stepping into this new regulated market, which is very difficult. Keep the path, people. We need you. We need your small farms. Your small farms hold the biodiversity that creates the intelligence for us to move forward. We're all in this room together because the plant has given us a higher intelligence that maybe we would not have received without it. And that's why we started out this with a prayer, is because it's so incredibly important that we keep that information that this plant has given us in order to move forward as a community. We need to become more product-centric. We need to start making products to tell our story, to be able to get out there. California is an island right now. We're going to be going into a federal market. How is your farm planning on moving into the federal market? How is it that you're going to bring your story into a global market? Because we feel like your story is incredibly important, and we know that you all are the ones who hold the voice of the plant. Because what we have more than anything is our integrity and our pieces of land. And a lot of people wonder, what are we going to leave our next generation? I say we leave our next generation healthy soil, because that's got to be the most important thing that we can leave them. That's our integrity, that's our life force, and that's what's going to move us into the future to help this plant get the right voice that it deserves.
And let's stay the course, and let's not feel like we're behind or we have to jump into something that, that they're giving us big promises with, and let's just realize that we do have that sacred union, and that's something they can never take from us. And instead of getting frustrated, let's just take the time to learn more and get connected to plant culture and botany and how it can work, and the microbiology and how it feeds the cannabinoid system and how the terpenes work and how they unlock the pathways of the cannabinoids. And let's take this time on our farm to build the soil so that we can use testing of our soil to see how it's interacting with our cannabinoid medicine and our entourage effect. And let's not get too bogged down with isolating cannabinoids and feeling like we have to, have one thing, because it's the diversity that really is going to keep us healthy. And that's the really important thing to realize, is that it's the diversity that keeps us going and that gives us the compounds that we need. Right now we feel like we're growing for compounds that we haven't explored yet and we may not know about. And we know that there's whole systems. The endophyte system within the plant is extremely interesting, and it's not something that's being extracted right now. And we're really excited about knowing that by allying with nature, we're allying with the ultimate system, with the one that's going to give us the most out of our plants and give us the most out of our health, and the one that we can pass to the next generation. Let's think of our farms not as seasonal, but as generational. And that's going to be what's going to bring us all forward.
And as we move forward and we're making contracts and we're looking at, collective bargaining, and as people are deciding what they want to do with their farm, please pull up a chair for the plant. Please don't forget that the plant is a part of this conversation as much as the farmers are a part of this conversation. And I think that we're just going to end it with this just one quote, is that we are all one drop of water, but together we make a flood. Thank you very much.
Feel free to ask any questions if anyone has any questions or anything. I will just end it with, I just want to end it, I love you. We'll be available. We love ganja and we love the earth.
And we're in the teepee.
You can find us in the teepee over here. Over in the teepee.